Hi, I'm Corey Breau. It's hard to believe that I've finished my 2-year term as president of the St. John Real Estate Board. Like so many other things over the last 2 strange years, it feels like it went very fast. Of course, some days also felt very long. I thought I would take a few moments to highlight some of the market stats and a few notable things that happened in 2021. I'm sure many of you seen the headlines or headlines like them and read many stories about our historic market over the last year. As you probably know, because you're living it every day, this is a shocking seller's market, unlike we've ever seen before. Even bigger than back in 2007, when Irving announced it was going to build a second refinery, and reporters were calling St. John the little Fort McMurray of the East. 2007 was nothing compared to the market created in the shadow of COVID-19. The pandemic has affected every single part of our lives, and the value of New Brunswick homes is definitely one of those things. As the headline says, our annual sales in 2021 obliterated the previous year. Let's look at some of the numbers. Let's start with the fact that out of all Canadian provinces, New Brunswick had the largest increase in home prices in 2021 compared to 2020. New Brunswick's average price grew by 34.6%, and in second place was Ontario with 30%. The national average for price growth in Canada was 17.9%, a figure we nearly doubled. With all that demand, the month of February saw active listings fall below 500 homes for the first time in more than 20 years. This chart shows the number of new listings over the last 10 years. We are used to over 4,000 listings per year, but in 2018, you can see the number dropped below 4,000, where it stayed ever since. This chart shows a dramatic trend in the opposite direction, the number of sales each year. Look at the steep climb over the last decade. The number of sales in 21 versus 2012 nearly doubled, climbing to a new record, breaking the 3,000 mark for the first time in our history. This next chart shows the average number of active listings in each year over the last 10 years. From 2012 to 2021, the number of homes in the market dropped to about a third of what it was. And compared to some years, less than a third of what it was. Our active inventory has never been this low. This last green chart shows a trending figure we use to measure our market, our months of inventory. The tool works like this. If the industry never accepted a new listing, how long would it take us at the current rate of sales with our current inventory to completely sell out? That answer in 2014 was 14.6 months. But by October 2021, our months of inventory actually dropped to 1.8 before settling out with an average of 2.5 months for the whole year. As you can imagine, this is historic for St. John. Over 2021, we also gained more new members in a single year than we have ever had before. We haven't seen a membership number over 300 since 2009. 3 months into 2022, that growth continued, although a bit more slowly. And as of March 20th, when I wrote this, we were sitting at 314 members. When you take the membership increase and compare it to decreasing inventory, it creates some of the difficult conditions. The tallest green bar on this chart represents our inventory through each of the months of 2021. Even though it increased as the year went on, that was seasonal. And by the end of the year, it was at its lowest point in history. The blue bar is the number of sales, and the yellow bar is the number of members trending upwards. So far in 2022, things aren't looking much different. Here's a snapshot of January and February. In January, the number of residential listings dropped to its lowest it had ever been in more than 30 years. They were lower than the number of active members. Half of our inventory was sold. In February, we were happy to see listings increase beyond the membership number, and we truly hope this trend continues. If I haven't driven the point home that things were historic in 2021, here's a great graphic that will do that for us. Let's compare the year 2020 and 21. I want to draw your attention to the number of new listings in 2020 versus 2021. Yes, there were significantly more new listings in 2021 than in 2020, but that's the only figure on this graph that isn't a record breaking a record. Let me explain. All the stats in 2020, except new listings, were record breaking up to that point in history. 2,583 sales was the most sales in a single year we ever had. But in 2021, we blew that out of the water by cracking over 3,000 sales. That's an increase of more than 20% over our biggest sales year. The dollar volume of sales in 2020 was over 500 million. That was also a record-breaking year, by far the most we've done in sales in history. But in 2021, we had nearly 800 million in sales. That's over a 55% increase. Yes, there were more listings in 2021, but not enough to deal with the level of demand. Because look at the number of active listings at year end for both of these years. That's a 42% decrease. And those numbers all serve to explain why the average price increased so much. As we said before, in 2021, New Brunswick had the highest increase in average price of any other Canadian province. This market can be rewarding but challenging for clients. We encourage you to reach out to your realtor for more information. Thank you.